Today I'm down in our conversion shop and I want to show you guys something unique that we do. Behind me is a Leadermac 623 Moulder. These machines run boards through and make molding that would go around trim and doors. This may look like a standard machine, but it's far from it. This machine is currently being converted to run for a customer on line shaft. Now, customers in the Amish community, some can run on electric, and some have their machines converted to run on a power source that fits within the accordance of their faith. So on this machine, we've converted it to line shaft. I'm gonna give you guys a quick tour of what goes into that. The first thing you're gonna notice about this machine is that the controls are completely different. You'll notice the control box is gone from the machine here, and we've set up different levers to run the machine. So with me today is Wayne, and he's one of the main guys that does conversions for this. So Wayne, this first lever here, if I push it forward and pull it back, what's that do?
That's for your feet. Forward is your feet forward, and the backward is your feet back. And then that way you can make setups and then bring your piece back out and measure your cut where you're going and to set your cutter to the correct height.
In the middle position's neutral.
It's neutral, yes.
And then down here, these levers run clutches, correct?
Yes, to engage the clutches for your cutter heads.
And you would typically start these slow so that you get a soft start to the machine, correct?
Yes.
So these engage the cutter heads. And then down here, what's this lever doing for?
That's for your head feet roller up and down.
All of these levers are a manual process to do these. And I'm going to show you guys the back side here is where really all the action happens. On the back side of this molder, typically you would see 7 motors, electric motors, that would be plumbed inside the cavity. To make this run on line shaft, we pull all of those motors out and set up a series of gearboxes and pulleys to run this. The first pulley I'll show you down here is the main drive that would connect to the line shaft. Now this molder is actually going to be connected to a line shaft that would go up into the ceiling. Our line shaft is in the floor in a pit, and that's the most common way that people run line shafts. Wayne, talk me through what these different gearboxes are doing here.
This one here is the forward and reverse gearbox for your feet drive.
So that's running down here.
There's a right angle gearbox just to get power up to the feet. And then here's one to drive the vertical heads. One head has to go the opposite rotation from the other one, since the one is in front of the material and one is in the back of the material. And then underneath here we have the reverse gearbox.
Oops, sorry.
To reverse your bottom heads from your top heads.
As I look in here, Wayne, I am amazed the number of belts that are used into this. I counted them earlier and I counted 42 of these, what we call these red belts. We call these link belts. And we prefer using these link belts so that if a belt does break, it's very easy to change them out and to swap them out in use.
And they're also very vibration resistant too.
So on a molder conversion like this, you may be wondering, how much horsepower do you need from a diesel engine to run this? You need at least 150 horsepower diesel engine. So these are serious shops running serious engines to do this. And that's because we're pulling off 7 electric motors off of this machine. Most of those electric motors are in that 15 horsepower range. And with power loss from running from a diesel engine to the machine, you have to add in there to make sure you have the torque drive to do it on this pulley. So it's taken about 150 horsepower diesel engine to make this thing run and compete with the electric variant. If you've never seen a line shaft, I'll give you an overview of how that works. The principle starts with a large engine, typically natural gas or diesel powered. In our case, a diesel generator. That diesel generator is spinning a large shaft that runs through the length of the building. Now in our case here, the shaft runs above the ground and will power machines like this mill with a series of belts that will come out. The shaft then drops down into a pit. And this would be a pretty common application for how guys would hook this up. The shaft would spin a series of belts. And so if I needed to hook up a new machine, I would shut off the line shaft first, connect my link belts around this pulley, and then connect them to the corresponding pulleys on the machine that I would need to power, like the molder in this case. So that's a real quick overview of how we take a highly complex machine like this to power it on line shaft. Pretty cool process. It's amazing how these guys understand the pulley speeds and can make this framework and pulley drive system work to power even a highly complex machine like this. We do numerous machines converted to run on pneumatic, hydraulic, or line shaft, just like this. If you ever need a molder, give us a call. AW Machinery, Apple Creek, Ohio. No one understands molders quite like we do. AW Machinery, Apple Creek, Ohio, and now in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania.